By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why every EV you see on the road today, including the one you might be considering, could be functionally obsolete very soon, and which automakers are about to get caught completely unprepared when charging stops being a compromise. You're going to walk away with an unsettling clarity about who survives this reset and who doesn't, because once 3-minute charging becomes real, the entire playing field doesn't just tilt, it collapses. Before we talk about what's coming, you need to see what Tesla's already weaponized. Right now, Tesla isn't running on ordinary batteries. These are mobile power stations engineered down to the microscopic level, and understanding them is the only way to grasp why aluminum changes everything. Tesla currently runs on two chemistries. First, there's lithium iron phosphate, or LFP. It powers the affordable Model 3 and Model Y, especially across Asia. These packs are safer, longer-lived, and budget-friendly. Heavier, yes, a little less range, but perfect for cost-conscious buyers who need reliability without the premium price tag. Then there's the heavyweight, nickel cobalt aluminum, or NCA. Built with Panasonic, these batteries fuel Tesla's premium machines, the Model S, Model X, even the Cybertruck. High energy density means more power and less space, more miles on the road, but they come with a trade-off: sensitive cooling, demanding upkeep. Now, let's step into Tesla's crown jewel, the 4680 cell. Elon Musk calls it a game changer, and for good reason. The secret is in the name: 46 millimeters wide, 80 millimeters tall. Bigger cells packed with 5 times the power of the old 2170s, able to charge at lightning speed. But here's the twist. This battery isn't just inserted into the car, it becomes the car. The cells are built right into the vehicle's structure, boosting strength, cutting weight, unlocking performance like never before. To build them, Tesla turned to dry electrode technology, a breakthrough that slashes production costs and accelerates manufacturing. As of late 2024, Tesla hit 100 million 4680 cells produced. Factories across the globe are rolling these out for the Model Y and Cybertruck. Musk's vision? To make batteries so cheap that one day, buying a Tesla will feel no different than buying a smartphone.
But here's the question that should terrify every other automaker. If Tesla's present is already this advanced, what happens when the same company leaps beyond lithium entirely? The answer isn't an upgrade, it's a complete rewrite of the rules. Let me show you exactly how this works. Every battery has two sides, a positive cathode and a negative anode with an electrolyte in between. When your phone, laptop, or car powers up, ions race in one direction, releasing energy. When you charge, they flow back, filling the tank. In lithium-ion cells, those ions come from lithium, a metal that's expensive, rare, and environmentally destructive to mine. That's the bottleneck. So scientists asked a different question. Why not use a metal that's everywhere? One that's light, cheap, and allows ions to move incredibly fast. Enter aluminum. Picture this. On one side, a sheet of aluminum foil. Yes, the same kind you find in your kitchen, only purified and engineered for precision. That's the anode. On the other side, a wafer-thin layer of graphene, a form of carbon so strong and so conductive it acts like a superhighway for ions. When you plug in to charge, aluminum ions rush from the foil to the graphene cathode. Unplug, hit the road, and they race back, releasing energy. No explosions, no dangerous chain reactions. Just clean, controlled power, and at speeds that sound almost unreal. Here's the atomic advantage. Lithium carries a single positive charge, 1 electron per ion. Aluminum? 3 electrons per ion. That's triple the electrochemical work from the same amount of material. The volumetric capacity of aluminum is over 8,000 amp hours per liter, more than triple lithium's 2,000. What does that mean in the real world? Aluminum ion batteries can charge up to 60 times faster than lithium. If your lithium pack takes an hour, aluminum could be full in 90 seconds. By the time you grab a coffee, your car is road ready, and it doesn't stop there.
While lithium cells fade after 1,000 to 3,000 charge cycles, aluminum-ion batteries can endure more than 10,000 cycles without risk of overheating, without the shadow of fire. But here's the catch: energy density. Right now, the fastest charging aluminum prototypes deliver only 26 watt-hours per kilogram when pushed to their limit. That's similar to lithium titanate batteries used in buses and grid storage, not passenger cars. For EVs, you need 150 to 300 watt-hours per kilogram. Researchers claim they've demonstrated 100 watt-hours per kilogram in slower charging modes, with a theoretical roadmap to 150, but that's still not enough to replace a Tesla Model 3 pack, yet. So why is everyone so focused on this technology? Because the breakthroughs are accelerating. 3 scientific barriers just fell, and the timeline just collapsed. For years, aluminum-ion batteries faced 3 critical problems that kept them trapped in university labs. Problem 1. Dendrites, microscopic needle-like structures that grow from the anode and puncture the separator, causing short circuits and fires. Problem 2. Corrosive electrolytes. Traditional aluminum chloride solutions were moisture-sensitive and ate through components, causing rapid capacity fade. Problem 3. Low voltage. Aluminum's reduction potential is only -1.66 volts compared to lithium's -3.04 volts, meaning you'd need far more cells to reach the same system voltage. In 2025, all 3 barriers started to crack. First, researchers developed selective facet etching, a method to etch aluminum foil anodes to expose a near-perfect atomic surface. This directional plane encourages uniform aluminum plating and stops dendrites before they start. The result? Cells that survived over 13,000 cycles at high charge rates. Second, a team from Beijing Institute of Technology introduced an inert aluminum fluoride framework into the electrolyte. This created a 3D porous structure that lets aluminum ions hop smoothly while physically blocking moisture and preventing parasitic reactions. Third, the addition of fluoroethylene carbonate created a thin, stable protective coating on the electrodes, preventing the oxidative degradation that typically kills aluminum batteries after a few hundred cycles. These aren't incremental improvements, they're foundational fixes. And they've brought cycle life to over 10,000 with less than 1% capacity loss, an endurance profile that vastly exceeds lithium's 1,000 to 3,000 cycles. Meanwhile, Tesla quietly filed a breakthrough patent in November 2025. Patent US 2025/0364562 details a composite binder system for dry electrode manufacturing. By blending PTFE with chemically stable polymers and using high shear jet milling to create a spiderweb microstructure, Tesla transformed brittle ceramic powder into a flexible, self-supporting film. The manufacturing implications? In early tests, pure PTFE required 10 passes through calendaring rollers to achieve cohesion, economically unviable. The new composite binder allows cohesive film formation in just 3 passes, tripling manufacturing throughput and slashing costs. This is the same dry process Tesla will use for the 4680 Gen 2 cells in 2026. But here's the question no one's asking. What if this same process can be adopted for aluminum-ion cathodes? Because if it can, the timeline just accelerated by years. While the West speculates, China is already deploying the future. Here's what most people miss. The real battle for ultra-fast charging in 2026 isn't happening in Tesla's labs, it's happening in China. And it's not using aluminum, it's using hyper-optimized lithium. CATL's Shenxing battery, which uses lithium iron phosphate, reached mass production in 2025. This platform supports a 12C charging rate, adding 520 kilometers of range in just 5 minutes. CATL achieves this through nanoscale acupuncture, creating microscopic pathways in the electrode material to accelerate ion transit. BYD countered with its Super E platform, featuring a 10C flash charging blade battery. To support it, BYD is constructing a network of 4,000 1-megawatt charging stations. These stations can theoretically fully charge a 100 kilowatt-hour battery in approximately 9 minutes. Let me put this in perspective. Tesla's 4680 cells charge at around 3C with peak power of 250 kilowatts. CATL's Shenxing charges at 12C with peak power of 1300 kilowatts. BYD's Blade charges at 10C with peak power of 1000 kilowatts. In 5 minutes, Tesla adds about 150 kilometers, CATL adds 520, BYD adds around 400. By the time any aluminum-ion battery reaches the market, it will be entering a space where 5 to 10-minute charging is already an established feature using proven lithium chemistries. So what's Tesla's play? Reports suggest Tesla has built small-scale aluminum-ion prototypes in collaboration with entities like Graphene Manufacturing Group. Third-party validation from the Battery Innovation Center in Indiana confirmed that GMG's graphene aluminum pouch cells reached 62% capacity in just 3.2 minutes. But here's the brutal truth. Those same cells deliver only 26 watt-hours per kilogram when fast-charged. That's 1/10 the energy density of a Model 3 pack. To match the range, you'd need a battery 10 times larger, killing efficiency, adding weight, destroying the economics. The realistic target for aluminum ion in 2026? Specialty applications, high-frequency delivery vans, airport tugs, grid storage, not yet the mass-market sedan. But Tesla isn't building aluminum ion for 2026, they're building it for 2028 and beyond, once energy density crosses the 150 watt-hour threshold and manufacturing costs drop below $92 per kilowatt-hour, the price point where it becomes competitive with LFP. The real question isn't can it work, it's can you afford to build it? Let's talk money. For an aluminum-ion battery to leave everyone behind, it must not only work, it must be price competitive with lithium iron phosphate, which has crashed to as low as $64 per kilowatt-hour at the pack level. Current aluminum-ion prototypes are compared to lithium titanate oxide batteries, which carry premium prices of up to $1,500 per kilowatt-hour. GMG claims their chemistry can be produced substantially cheaper due to abundant aluminum and the elimination of expensive copper substrates. But the initial cost per kilowatt-hour for a 2026 production aluminum pack? Estimated between $92 and $115, significantly higher than projected sodium-ion costs of $58 to $72. Here's the economic landscape for 2026. Sodium-ion batteries are projected to cost $58 to $72 per kilowatt-hour. Their key advantage is that sodium is ubiquitous, but their main barrier is low energy density. Standard lithium iron phosphate costs $60 to $80 per kilowatt-hour. The advantage is an established supply chain, but range limitations remain a challenge. Aluminum ion is estimated at $92 to $115 per kilowatt-hour. High abundance and safety are the advantages, but manufacturing maturity is the barrier. High nickel NMC batteries run $100 to $130 per kilowatt-hour. They offer maximum range but face high cobalt and nickel costs. The data is clear. The true disruptor for the $25,000 mass market EV in 2026 will likely be sodium ion or advanced LFP, not aluminum ion. Aluminum ion's value proposition in 2026 will be strongest in specialized sectors that value speed and cycle life over cost. Delivery fleets running 500 cycles per year, grid storage cycling multiple times daily, industrial robotics. But here's where it gets interesting. Tesla isn't targeting 2026 for aluminum-ion mass production. They're targeting pilot production, just enough volume to validate the manufacturing process, test thermal management systems, and demonstrate the technology to investors and competitors. Why? Because once the world sees a working 3-minute Tesla prototype, the psychological shift happens immediately. Every lithium pack on the road suddenly feels outdated. Every charging station feels obsolete. Every competitor scrambles. That's the real strategy. This isn't just about batteries, it's about who controls the future. Let's be brutally honest about lithium. Lithium mining in South America's Lithium Triangle, Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, has drained water tables, scarred landscapes, and thrown ecosystems off balance. Extraction requires up to 1.9 million liters of water per ton of lithium. And cobalt, often paired with lithium in batteries, carries an even darker shadow, mines riddled with child labor. But the real vulnerability? China controls 85% of global lithium processing capacity. Even if lithium is mined in Australia or Chile, it's refined in China. Tesla's investment in a domestic lithium refinery in Texas is a tactical move to mitigate this risk. But aluminum rewrites the geopolitical map entirely. Aluminum is the third most abundant element in Earth's crust, geographically diverse with significant production in Guinea, Brazil, Australia, and the United States. While primary bauxite mining is energy intensive, aluminum recycling is 95% more efficient than primary production. Let me compare the environmental impact. For hard rock lithium mining, greenhouse gas emissions are around 15 tons of CO2 equivalent per ton of material, and energy consumption is 200,000 to 250,000 kilowatt hours per ton. Recycling saves only 30 to 50% of that energy. For brine lithium extraction, emissions drop to 3 to 5 tons of CO2 equivalent per ton, and energy use is 60,000 to 100,000 kilowatt hours per ton, but recycling savings are negligible. For recycled aluminum, emissions are less than 1 ton of CO2 equivalent per ton, and energy consumption is only 2,000 to 10,000 kilowatt hours per ton, and recycling saves 95% of the energy compared to primary production. The European Union's Critical Raw Materials Act and Net Zero Industry Act come into full effect in 2026. Automakers will face increasing pressure to verify the environmental footprint of their batteries. The use of aluminum, particularly from recycled sources, could provide a dramatically lower carbon footprint than lithium refined in China using coal-intensive energy. And here's the strategic lever. China, India, and the West are now racing to lock down aluminum supply chains. China is pouring billions into Guinea, securing bauxite for the next decade. India is scaling production with government subsidies. The US is quietly reshoring aluminum smelting capacity. The geopolitical game is already underway. Now let me tell you what's really going to happen. Here's the truth. In 2026, Tesla will not release a mass-market aluminum-ion Model 2. That vehicle will run on lithium iron phosphate, or potentially CATL's M3P chemistry, manganese-enhanced LFP with 15% higher energy density. The Redwood platform, the next-gen $25,000 Tesla, will achieve its price point through the unboxed vehicle manufacturing process, not exotic battery chemistry. This process radically simplifies assembly, cutting production time and cost. Tesla's 4680 Gen 2 cells, powered by the composite binder breakthrough, will enter production in 2026. These cells will power the premium Model Y and Cybertruck variants, delivering faster charging and lower costs than Gen 1, but still using nickel, cobalt, aluminum, lithium chemistry. Aluminum ion will enter pilot production in late 2026 or early 2027. Not for sedans, for grid storage, delivery vans, and industrial applications where 10,000 plus cycle life and ultra-fast charging justify the current energy density trade-offs. But here's why that still changes everything. Once Tesla demonstrates a working aluminum-ion prototype, even in limited volume, the psychological reset happens instantly. Investors see it, competitors panic, consumers start waiting, lithium prices destabilize, the entire industry begins hedging. That's the real power move. Tesla doesn't need aluminum ion to dominate in 2026. They just need to prove it works. Because once they do, every automaker betting purely on lithium suddenly looks trapped. So let's talk about who makes it out alive. By 2026, the battery industry will have moved past the lithium-only era into a multi-chemistry future. Lithium iron phosphate and LMFP will dominate the mass market. Proven, cheap, fast charging. High nickel NMC will serve the high-performance segment, maximum range, premium pricing. Sodium ion will begin its ascent in budget-friendly vehicles, Tata, BYD, and European startups. Aluminum ion will carve out industrial and specialty applications, grid storage, delivery fleets, and robotics. And solid-state batteries from QuantumScape and others will promise 400 plus watt-hours per kilogram by 2027, if they can solve manufacturing at scale. Here's who wins. Tesla maintains leadership through manufacturing efficiency, vertical integration, and technological diversification. They'll run LFP in entry models, 4680 in premium models, and pilot aluminum ion in strategic niches. CATL and BYD dominate through sheer volume and speed, megawatt charging infrastructure, sodium ion cost leadership, and aggressive international expansion. Legacy automakers struggle. Toyota scrambles to catch up. Volkswagen hemorrhages cash trying to match Chinese speed. Ford and GM cling to hybrid strategies. And here's who gets left behind. Any automaker still betting purely on expensive, slow-charging lithium without vertical integration, without next-gen manufacturing, without flexibility to pivot. Because the market won't wait. Once 3-minute charging becomes real, whether it's aluminum ion, ultra-fast LFP, or solid state, today's 30-minute charging suddenly feels obsolete. And the companies that can't adopt, they don't just lose market share, they become acquisition targets. So here's what you need to understand. Tesla's 3-minute aluminum battery isn't a product launch, it's a strategic weapon, a signal that the rules are about to change, a warning shot to every competitor still comfortable with lithium. In 2026, you won't see aluminum-ion Model 3s on every street, but you will see the infrastructure being built, the pilot factories coming online, the patents being filed, the partnerships forming. And by 2028, when energy density crosses 150 watt-hours per kilogram and costs drop below $80 per kilowatt-hour, that's when the real earthquake hits. The companies preparing now will lead. The ones still debating will be buried. If you want to stay ahead of this revolution, subscribe to this channel because we're tracking every patent, every breakthrough, every move in this war. And drop the word aluminum in the comments if you believe this technology will reshape the EV industry, or if you think it's all hype. Because one way or another, 2026 is when we find out. The reset is coming. Make sure you're on the right side of it.